Moms, I know divorce can be really messy, but selling your engagement ring can actually be quick, easy, and stress-free with Worthy. Worthy uses their expertise, technology, and connections to get you the absolute most for your jewelry with no hidden fees. Plus, just for my audience, Worthy gave me a special offer to share. When you sell your jewelry through Worthy, you'll receive a $100 Amazon gift card when your jewelry sells for over $1,500. Ready to move on from your ring? Head to worthy.com/moms to get started today. That's worthy.com/moms for the special bonus offer.
One of the first things that I always like to work with my folks is when they're looking at stepping into the dating world, online dating world, is what platform are they looking at? You know, which dating sites, and why are they what's driving them to? Because, you know, there's the matchup, and there's, you know, Christian singles, and there's all sorts of eHarmonies.
And there's just the booty call ones, right, Liz?
Bumbles, and oh gosh, yes.
Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Moms Moving On. I'm your host, Michelle Dempsey-Multack, and today we have Dr. Liz Jenkins on with us today. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist and certified relationship coach with over 35 years and 75,000 hours of expertise working with women and couples to reignite relationships so they can prevent divorce, infidelity, and lifelong dissatisfaction and navigate huge life transitions. So if she's helping people stay married, why is she here? Well, she's got a lot of great insight into dating after divorce, and that's exactly what we need to dive into today. We need to talk about how successful single women can leverage online dating to find high-quality companionship without burning out in the process, because we all know it takes worse. Dr. Liz, thank you so much for being with us today.
Thank you so much. I love the opportunity to be here, Michelle, and helping folks realize, hey, there's a whole big world out there, and it's there for the taking. And so this is great. I'm excited to talk about dating again, right?
I am too. And, you know, I personally did not do much dating after my divorce, so I never really have great insight on this topic. I got separated. I went on one bad date. I said, okay, you know what? Never mind. Like, I need to focus on me and my daughter. And then I just happened to run into my now husband in a real mute cute sort of way, and took it from there. But the experience of dating after divorce is not something I know a lot about. So I'm curious to hear your experience with it, and we can dive in from there.
Absolutely. So it sounds like you've had the great opportunity to organically, you know, bump into your hubby now, and that's wonderful. And things have changed so much. I mean, like, I've been married 35. I'm married 35 years, 37 together. So it's a lot has evolved, but I have two adult daughters that we're very much into this online world of dating, and I have many clients that have left relationships, and they are stepping into this brave new world. And there's so much there's great value in the online, but there's a lot of I want to say warnings and best practices. And so I guess one of the first things that I always like to work with my folks is when they're looking at stepping into the dating world, online dating world, is what platform are they looking at? You know, which dating sites, and why are they what's driving them to? Because, you know, there's the matchup, and there's, you know, Christian singles, and there's all sorts of eHarmonies.
And there's just the booty call ones, right, Liz?
Bumbles, and oh gosh, yes, Bumbles, and all Rumbles, and I mean, a lot has evolved. Back there used to be and there still is the Craigslist personals, and that used to be like, you know,
that's where the Craigslist killer came from, didn't he?
Yes.
Okay,
yes.
So we're going to stay off of Craigslist, people. I don't know. I feel like Liz can steer us in a better direction.
Absolutely. And I guess it's really like, what's your comfort zone, and what's your comfort level? There's some folks that are a big advocate that they want to date free. And so there are sites that have certain types of aspects that are, it's free. You sign up, you create a profile, and you move from there, swipe right, swipe left. And there's others that feel like, I'm an investment and I want someone that has resources or cares about themselves to invest in themselves. So there are some folks that are really more interested in a paid dating site, even if a small one. So I always tell folks, let's play around with it. Ask some around your friends, browse the dating sites, and see what your intentions are. That would be one of the first things that I would say. I'm also have the opportunity to be inside a couple singles Facebook groups. And one of the biggest things that people talk about is the profile that someone has, the pictures,
yes,
what's put on there. Okay.
It's like for my clients, when they talk about this, Liz, it's like figuring out, how to land on the moon with your eyes closed. Like they can't seem to get it right. And this is really good that we talk about it.
Yeah. Yeah. And so one of the things, as we're starting to put ourselves out there, and it's going to be real visual, I always tell my clients before we launch the site, and I'll talk about some of the top things to put on our profiles, but I always say, create a must-have list for the person that you're looking for, and a no way, no go. Because it's sort of like a grocery list before, when we go in and we don't have a list of the grocery store, we start just grabbing some different things.
That looks good. And especially if you're shopping when you're hungry,
right?
That's no good. You end up putting bad things in your cart.
Right. And bad things in your life too, right? If we don't know what our no-goes are, and those become yeah. Okay. All right. One of my mantras is choose wisely and choose well. So if you know and you have focus and clarity, your must-haves, your no-goes, I don't care really how hungry you are or how pretty and packaged something is, you're going to be more aware of the warning signs and easily, like we're talking guys and relationship, get out of that relationship or don't start that relationship right away. So make your list, right? Now we go on to what do we put on our profile? The things that I hear from the men in the dating groups and from the women is they want current photos. They want a close up to your face. All right. And a lot of the guys, it's interesting, they want someone that's just showing up how they normally would. They don't want all the
glamour shots.
No super filters and stuff. They want to see how you are, and these are the men that you probably would want to be attracting, a genuine person who's interested in you and not how good you are skillful with the filters and things. Right? So they want to see your face. They want to see what you do for fun in another one. They would like to see a full length one because they want to see what you physically look like. And it goes the same thing for women. And maybe some of your listeners have had if I see one more man posed with a dead fish, a dead deer, a truck or a motorcycle type, I'm just gonna or
scream.
Doing this, yeah, or the selfie in the bathroom mirror.
Oh God. Like I was on, my brother put me on when I was first single, took my phone and he was like, you need to start exploring, get yourself out there. And I was swiping through and I'm like, no, like just the fish, the look at my car. That was a big one. I live in Miami. So it was like, look at my car. It was the bathroom selfie and it was the gym selfie. And I'm like, this is no bueno.
wouldn't be a selfie if we weren't sweaty in the gym, right?
Right. But here's the thing, back to the photo. So I love that you don't have the experience of being divorced because you are like the pro at marriage. But for a divorcing woman whose self-esteem has been really damaged, either by the fact that, there was emotional or physical neglect in the marriage, or just a disconnect. And, every woman's in her head about, is it me? Is it what I look like? Is it how I perform in bed? It's all those things. So that physical part, creating the profile, just the picture alone is so challenging for women. And
Yes.
I don't know what words of encouragement you can offer, you know,
Mhm.
but that would be really helpful, because I know for me too, I wanted to be authentic, but I was worried, am I good enough? Am I pretty enough? Is my body right? Like it's scary.
Right. Oh yeah. It's our self-esteem and our sense of identity has taken a big hit, because when we started out becoming a couple, we didn't expect I want to say, the road wear of being in the marriage that would erode our self-esteem, our self-image. We've had babies, life changes. Maybe things aren't as, we don't feel like we're as
Tight
confident
and
of a
toned.
pack.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that package looks different. And so that's why I really recommend folks too, is that recognize that you've been through a lot and appreciate the strength that's taken you to get through that journey and through that. And this is part of rediscovering and discovering yourself outside of some partner. So it may mean trying out different styles, getting out of your rut. Like there's the Stitch Fix, and there are those Nordstroms, and then you go to a shopper who will say, "I know what looks great on you. Come in here." You don't have to buy, but it's really starting to get yourself uncomfortable in these new situations, see yourself differently.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to have maybe a little bit more appreciation. And yes, if you're feeling like, I need the filters, all right, great. Then, take the photos with the filters or the draping. But ideally, you appreciate yourself as going through this. We work on our self-esteem. We work on finding things that we like about ourselves. We find and surround ourselves with a tribe that supports us as well.
So here's another question we get about the profile, and I think that's really
Okay.
great information. I mean, you have to be comfortable in your picture. I feel like otherwise you're just going to look uncomfortable, and that'll send the wrong
Mm-hmm.
message. But a
Mm-hmm.
lot of women will ask me, should I put in my profile that I have children and how old they are? Because I don't want that to be a deterrent. And my response is, well, you're going to tell them you have kids eventually, right? Like, wouldn't you rather just know off the bat? What do you think?
Oh, yeah. You know what? That's great. I'm so glad you brought that up. Yes, I think that you don't want to be wasting your time, and you don't want to waste their time, I guess. And it's like, if you have pets, you list the pets, you
Right.
have the kids, because so say I have children, maybe I have young children, I have, several children. I do have safety concerns for your kids. So I don't,
Interesting.
yeah, I would not put your children's pictures on there. You
Okay.
save that later, just like we'll talk about later as you're starting to date people, how long you wait to introduce them to a special person. But in today's world, our children aren't necessarily safe. And someone that I've had folks that realize that the person they attracted was actually more attracted to their children, or their child in particular. So they dated the mom to get to the child.
Oh,
Yeah.
that's scary.
It's very scary, and it's very real. And I'm so sorry to be, like a Debbie Downer here, but I want you to, to date safely.
Right.
And so put out information that says, I have children, you know, and I have dogs. I have lots of dogs, or I'm that cat lady, or whatever it might be. That is part of what's going to attract a person to you. Or someone says, I'm allergic to cats, and they scroll. They swipe. They
Mm-hmm.
move on.
Mm-hmm.
If you have something that you're passionate about, or you have fun, and maybe there's a vacation pictures, put that out there. Something where you're giving people a little flavor of who you are, but you're not giving them your address to your home.
Right. Yeah.
Type of thing.
That's really scary about the kid part. And I think that's really solid advice. I mean, I guess there are lots of creeps out there, and as single moms, you have to be extra vigilant. Also,
Yeah.
as single moms, Liz, time is of the essence. Like,
Mhm.
we don't have a lot of time to waste. A lot of moms after divorce are co-parenting. So there's only a certain window of time where they don't have their kids, and that's when they need to get their dating in. Plus, online dating is a lot of work. Looking,
It is.
scrolling, having the conversations. So I know for some women, at least my clients, the mindset has been, I barely have time to myself to begin with. I want this to be as easy as possible. I don't want to have to make this a full-time job. Can you speak to that a little bit?
Oh, I feel your pain, because it's hard enough to sit down and even like pluck your eyebrows on your own, right? Let alone be looking at, and online dating is a huge number games. And also it's who is using the platform that you're using in your area. And so many of my clients also sort of cast the net a little bit. They use two different types of dating apps to see, because who's on that other dating app as well. So it's a numbers game. It can be very discouraging. I suggest people do it in little sprints, where you say, okay, I'm just going to grab my phone and I'm just going to do a couple of looks and see what's going on. Some folks do a lot of initial clearing, I don't want to say touching base, but some intro texts and see what's going on, see how it works. And then they wait for the response. To avoid being discouraged, I think it's really important to keep in mind that it's not you. All right. It is a numbers game. It is. And so if you're going in and each time someone doesn't choose you or someone ghosts you after a few responses and you're personalizing it, it's going to be very defeating to your self-worth and self-esteem. So research shows, they did, we got a research saying that research said that when people did a lot of just focus bursts of swiping, looking, scrolling, and got off of the platform and kept in mind that it's just a numbers game, they were more likely to stay encouraged and find the right matches. When folks spent too much mental time worrying about why somebody hasn't emojied them, or why they haven't heard something, and they invest emotional and physical time trying to follow up with that person that's not responding. Those are the ones that got discouraged. Those are the ones that walked away feeling less confident about themselves. So,
interesting.
Yeah. So we don't need to be the other person's mom, right?
Yeah.
Or secretary, or executive assistant. We just need to get in there, show up strong with what we want, realize it's a numbers type of thing, and then move on.
Yes, absolutely. And also I think you save time if you're going to be your most authentic and true self, because you really don't have time to beat around the bush as a single mom or a co-parenting mom. Like it's either like it's going to work or it's not. So let's figure that out up front.
Right.
So I think that's really great advice. I have another question though. Sure. How soon do you think is too soon to put yourself online and put yourself out there again after a split? I know for a lot of women who initiate divorce, they've probably already grieved a lot in the marriage, but do you have any insight into what might be the best case there?
Yeah, I do. And I, to the point, the person that initiates the divorce, absolutely right. Their head's been out of the marriage or out of the relationship a lot sooner than for a lot longer period of time than the actual divorce or breakup. I tell folks that if you're looking and you're comparing them to your previous partner, if when you're out there actually on a date, or you're talking to the person, let alone physically being there, and you're comparing, that probably means there's still some historical stuff we need to work on for ourselves. It's too soon.
Do you suggest to people that they invest in therapy before they start dating again after divorce?
I guess it really depends on what kind of trauma, what kind of issues were in the relationship. If there's a lot of emotional or physical trauma baggage, then therapy or coaching is really important. I personally love the field of coaching because
So do I.
I know. I am a licensed marriage and family therapist, been licensed for like 37 years. And there is a place for that. But for the average bear, for the average person, we need to remember our strengths. And that's what I love doing. I like focusing on people's and couples' strengths. And then we look for areas of opportunity that maybe they just need some skills or some strategies to up their game, or just a different perspective. Or a different wardrobe, or a different, type of thing.
Yeah.
And so there is, if you're going from an immediate divorce back into the dating world and you're looking for a forever partner, I would say there's probably something else driving that. Maybe there's some fear of being alone. Maybe there's a concern with how do I parent all of this, whatever it might be. And so that's probably premature to be out there. If you're going out dating because it's like, you know what, I just got to see what's out there. I'm not going to date with the intention of maybe jumping in bed with them, or maybe I am. You know what you want, you decide what you want, but I'm dating just to see what's out there. Many of my my folks, I'll tell them, have coffee dates, just do a little hi, how are you kind of thing if you're really wanting to physically meet someone. And we can talk about safety things around that. Men tend to deal with their depression by actively doing something, and that means jumping right back out into the dating world. Mm-hmm. And so when you're looking at these gentlemen and they're saying, yep, I'm just recently divorced or whatever, realize they may not have finished the business that they need to have done, because one of the coping strategies is to immediately take action and replace and distract, whether it's another person, sports, immersing themselves into work. They're not dealing with their stuff. So that's just a warning sign for when you look at somebody's profile and they're recently divorced. How recent?
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, I think
finished are they?
Anyone who says coming out of a marriage that there's no fear of being alone, I think is lying. I was definitely scared of being alone until I realized, I gave myself a little time and realized how good it felt and how nice it felt to just be in my own space and enjoy that and do whatever I wanted with no feedback or criticism. And once it's funny, I was like, you know what? I like this alone thing. I love it. I'm going to do it. It gives me more time to be present with my child. And it was when I accepted that alone felt okay and it wasn't so scary. That's when I met somebody. And I feel like you have to be in that mindset.
Yes. Yes.
Another question we get a lot, and then I want to go back into the safety piece you were talking about of actually physically taking the steps to meet somebody. A lot of people will ask me, should I be on multiple dating platforms at once, or should I just stick to one?
I am a proponent of test drive a few. Okay. Because and it depends on your geographic location, right? If you're in an area that is maybe super young and you're not, and you're going on the dating app that seems to be attracting the younger crowd, then you're going to be missing out on the right matches, and you're going to be feeling like, wow, this is all I have. So we want to open your eyes to me. I want to open your eyes to all the different opportunities. You'll find a style of an app. You'll find the style that seems to attract the people that you're interested in, but you don't know until kind of test drive them. Now, if you're spending all your time just setting up profiles and you're on the apps and that's all you do and you're not moving forward, then maybe it's something like you're not really ready to be out there dating. And then maybe we need to step back and say, let's find some fun activities within your community, because organically, that's kind of the old-fashioned way where we used to be. So get in, take a class that you always want to do, or get into a walking group or a bike riding group, or some of these activities with other parents and other kids, because oftentimes you can network that way and find, one, maybe a great new tribe, but two, the tribe might know somebody that would be the right match for you. And So yes, I say more than one platform at first. Treat it like you're interviewing them,
Yes.
not that they're
Ooh, good advice. I say it all the time. Let's not hope they're good and that you're good enough for them. Let's hope they're good enough for you. Absolutely.
Absolutely. Yeah. What a different power statement, right? We show up not being desperate. We show up being like, impress me. Show me
Yeah.
what you got.
Show me what you got. Let's see if it works for me.
Mhm.
Okay, so that dating piece. It's a
Yeah.
scary world out there.
Very much so.
You're ready to, you've had some good conversation. You think you can trust what this person is saying.
Mhm.
What is the best case, safest first date for a mama after divorce?
Okay. Well,
Obviously not
one,
going straight to his house, probably.
yeah, and not inviting him to your house either.
Mhm.
And this is not, kids are not, it's a no kid zone. Let somebody know, somebody outside this person know the information on this person. You let them have a picture of their, a snapshot of the screen, their profile, or put a location thing on your phone as well. You do want to have eyes on you about that.
Mhm.
Daytime, more of a public setting type of meeting. Drive yourself. Don't let them drive you. What are some of the other ones we talk folks about? I want to make sure that you keep your eyes on your drink too, because there's.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I keep bringing up these scary things like
No,
this,
you're right. No, it's
but
so
it's really,
scary. I get it.
so in the today's world, there's super nice people, and I don't want to dissuade you from doing it, but we also have to do it smart. And it's kind of like we pay attention to where we're walking. Well, we pay attention to what's our drinks are going, what's going on with our food or our drinks. We have people know where we're at, and we touch base with the people, a good friend, someone that says, I need help. Or you can also, if go to, let me back up. You probably want to have a code word or a code that your friends or you could send to someone.
Yes, very smart.
Okay. Be okay with interrupting the conversation. If and I say just trust your gut. If you're having a great time, it's a great time. But if you're trusting your gut and this guy's arguing with you, or you're feeling pressured, or they keep saying things and you say, no, I don't want to go there. Then you want to step back and maybe just use that code word. Oh my gosh, the kids are running a fever. I'm going to have to go. It's been really nice. And let's chat later. You can end and get out of there. So use kids or friend as an excuse to break up that interaction. Also, you're always able to go to, if you're going to a restaurant, go to the serving staff, go to the bartender, go to the front hostess, tell them you need help if you feel like you're in danger too.
That's
Do
great
not
advice.
keep it
Yeah.
quiet.
Yeah. And I think for so many women after divorce, that gut and intuition might be a little cloudy because, you've been in a situation where you've been feeling things and maybe somebody's been telling you, no, you're not feeling that. But if, you get that tummy feeling of, I don't know, this is weird. I mean, in my experience, when I haven't listened to that, it's come back in my face big time. And so I think that, if you sit down and right away something's just off, excuse yourself. You've only got so much time in your life.
Right. And that also brought something with another thing is that when you say the tummy gut, if you're having to explain yourself, or there's a conflict coming, and this is supposed to be just like a casual conversation, and you think, I just really think, I don't know, that maybe we should not be having California avocados shipped all the way here to Texas. I think we should learn how to make Texas avocados. And I live in Texas right now. But and you're having this argument, and you're like, no, I really, you don't need that in your life. If you're having to explain yourself or try to soothe things down in these early conversations, it's time to walk, ladies.
Yeah,
This
absolutely.
is not your husband. This is not me.
This ain't him.
Yeah. Many of my folks also do a quick profile check. They'll Google search the person. They'll look to see what sites they might be on. They'll run some free background checks or minimal background checks as well. So, feel free to do what you feel you need to do to be safe to do this, but realize it's right now, we're not looking for the perfect man. This is a skill we're trying to learn because we've been out of the dating world and it's evolved and we're back into this new thing. And so it's really skill based and not not personal based.
Absolutely. That Google piece is huge. That was something that I didn't realize I should be doing with the first person I met after my split. And I've told the story a lot, but I'll tell it to you too.
Okay.
I didn't Google, and I was so excited. I was chatting it up with this guy who I met at my chiropractor's office, and he was handsome and, very present on social media. I didn't see any red flags though. And, I went to coffee with a friend one morning and I was telling her I was so excited. And she said, "Did you Google him?" And I'm like, "No, why?" And she looked him up. His baby registry popped up. He had his wife, who he had been married to the year prior, because we found the wedding registry. His baby was born the week before I met him in the chiropractor's office. He was fully married with an infant. And I was about to go out with him, and it was the craziest experience. So ladies, do your due diligence. Dr. Liz, this has been such an eye-opening conversation. What would you say, one tip of advice to the mom who is just dipping her toes back into the dating pool after divorce and is terrified?
Okay. I would say breathe, relax. Let's just have some fun. Okay. It doesn't have to be serious. And I got to find that's made. This is going to be a fun adventure that later on, when you're talking to your kids and you're talking to your new partner, you're going to be able to go, "Oh my gosh, the funniest thing happened to me." And you're also going to be able to share some really good advice with the kids, because right now you're braving a brave new world, and somewhere along the line your kids are going to face something that's scary, hairy, and you're going to have walked ahead of them doing something that's scary, hairy. And so for now, keep it light, have fun, play smart, and enjoy the new you that you are.
Yes, the new you. It's such a powerful thing to have that second chance at rewriting your story. So rewrite it wisely. What did you say?
Choose wisely, choose well.
Choose wisely, choose well. That's a perfect way to end it. Dr. Liz Jenkins, where can our listeners and followers get in touch with you if they have more questions about dating after divorce?
Sure, absolutely. Follow me, join me on my Instagram. It's Dr.Liz_Jenkins, or my Facebook page, which is drlizjenkins.com or Dr. Liz Jenkins. And if you would like, there's tons of free resources, and I have a couples connection checklist that I think we're going to put the links in below.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. And when you find you're the right person, check out my weekend reconnect, because it lists all of the key areas that successful couples need. And most of us don't come with all of those strategies. We come with things that we learned or acquired along the way. So,
I am going to check it out for Spencer and I. That'll be fun. I can't wait.
Okay.
Thank you, Dr.
Thank you
Liz
very much.
Jenkins, everyone. We'll see you next time on Moms Moving On.